Since I started taking cycling more seriously, one event has particularly captivated my attention. The majestic mountains, bathed in a scorching heat in rugged deserts, the picturesque roads that stretch along the Mediterranean coastline, and the charming Spanish villages nestled along the routes. This epic journey entails covering an astonishing 820 kilometers on gravel, with over 15,000 meters of elevation, all within the time frame of 5 days. This is my recap of Badlands 2025. Good morning, it's finally time to get going. 6:30 and I will probably head out in about an hour. Start is at 8, so I'm there half an hour before. Can get in the atmosphere a bit. But yeah, just having a quick breakfast now. Some bagel and brioche bread. We'll also have some cereal and then get dressed. Didn't have the best night either, as expected already. I don't know, can't really sleep here for some reason. But I also still don't feel tired, so let's see if it's a mix of excitement or if I'm really not tired. Hopefully I'm really not tired because I want to push on as long as possible. But yeah, having 2 or rather 3 bad sleep nights, not ideal for an event like this, but yeah. It is what it is, and yeah, having breakfast now and then get dressed. Alright, sun is just rising, prepping the last things, already have the vest on. Packed my insulin now, so I will bring both pens. This one is my short term insulin and this one the long one. I will bring both, and I think I will just use both of them. I don't have much experience exactly if I should skip the long one, especially if I keep riding, but I would just try to have the usual as if I would ride shorter races or something. And then I would bring one of the short-term Fiasp I'm using, candles or whatever you call them, with me as well, somewhat separate. So in case something breaks or is faulty and doesn't work properly, I can replace it, hopefully. And then obviously different needles and stuff I have packed all in the back here. And then this one goes in the side here, so I can always easily access it. I guess you all know the feeling of being a bit tired, but going into the early morning summer air just instantly energizes you, and it was an awesome feeling to finally get going. The atmosphere at the start was special, especially in the early morning sunrise. I would describe it as a mix of nervousness and excitement, very similar to standing in the start box at a normal gravel race. Eight AM, time to roll out. Luckily there was no need to fight for position, and when we finally rode off, escorted by the Spanish police through Granada, it was a good feeling to finally get going after all the preparation. Right from the start I decided to ride my own tempo and not get carried away by anything the others around me were doing, especially with the first 1.5 hours being uphill. I even stopped a few times to take photos in the amazing morning light. It was a great feeling to see the landscape unfold in front of you, as well as riding with a lot of like-minded people around you, offering some good talks and laughter.
About 2 hours in, first big climb and big descent done. Now on the second climb, it's only about 250 meters. I think we have a few of them now for a while. Overall going down most of the time with those 200 meter climbs in between. I think that's it for the first 60-70 kilometers until we hit the desert route. Something like that, feeling pretty good. Trying to keep it as easy as possible. It's a long race. Alright, however you do it. Made it to the top of another longer climb. Finished my bottle of drink mix, which is like I think 85 grams of carbs, as well as took a gel now because my blood sugar was going low, but also aiming for like 50 grams minimum of carbs per hour. So it's a good timing. Otherwise, it's flat at the moment. Looks flat for a while. See where we end up.
While overall most gravel was not very technical, it definitely looks a lot smoother on the action cam. It's early in the race, but this section was a good reminder that you have to pay attention on your line choices, as well as assume that most guys don't have the bike handling skills you will find in a UCI gravel race. When the guy in front of me panic brakes, I have to deviate from my line and almost went off the edge here. He said sorry and we went on, nothing happened, and soon the group would split even more. I was lying. Apparently it was only downhill. But yeah, first water stop done now. And lunch break. And then we're heading into the next climb, baby. Having 40 kilometers until the desert starts. We'll see how it goes.
almost 5 hours in. Only 80 kilometers so far, but it's going good. Taking it as easy as possible still. That's working great so far. But yeah, did this lovely descent now. Really nice summit road, and I think now we're going up there, which I was told is easier to walk than ride. Let's see, it looks brutal. Made it. That was definitely the toughest part so far. Pushed the bottom and then pedaled up the last half, but I had to put down like 400 watts or something. Just nothing I want to do too much of, so taking it easy. But yeah, walking was not so nice in the shoes. I want to get blisters, so yeah. That's why I decided to pedal that last half. Now we continue flat or downhill for a while and see what comes up next.
Remember what I said about taking it easy? This guy certainly had different plans, coming full kamikaze mode out of nowhere. Not really having much control over his bike on the most technical part of the whole track. Just to go the same speed as the rest of us for the next kilometers.
Path to get up to here was really tough. Only 130 meters or so of elevation, but through some sandy riverbed. Took ages. Felt really shit. But yeah, now I think it's mostly downhill to Gorafe. I'm looking forward to some cold drinks and some shit.
Coming up a climb and around the corner of a riverbed, you always were reminded with a breathtaking view that made up for all the hard work.
I made it to Gorafe. Oh, not feeling too great. I think it's a mix of heat and under fueling now, so definitely taking a longer stop here. Hopefully can find something to drink and eat.
Okay, longer breakdown. Had some ice cream, a bocadillo and a Coke. Feeling a lot better now, I think. Stomach is a bit upset, but yeah, hopefully it should be fine. Injected a bit too late, so blood sugar is going up right now. But yeah, hopefully going down again soon, as I already injected. Fixed the bike, everything, sunscreen on again, waxed the chain. Sadly noticed that the screw here on my chain catcher is gone, so it's like just moving freely. I don't know, might have to take it off because it's making a lot of noise. It's pretty annoying. But yeah, we'll ride and then see if I have to take it off or not. Well, otherwise everything's good to go. Doing the Gorafe loop now, so I think it's like 80 kilometers. I don't exactly know how the terrain will be. I think quite sandy, so yeah, I assume it will like take 3-4 hours. But yeah, let's see. Then when I'm back here, I will decide. Or I will definitely move on then to Gora, I think it's called, Goa. And then after that, I will decide if I continue the climb up to the Observatory or not. But yeah, let's get going. Didn't film any of that time. That was brutal. Over, I don't know, 15-16% all the time. Bought another Coke in the bottom door to quickly take it here on the top. And then we head into the desert. Not sure what to expect yet, but we'll see. I was looking at the cave, almost took a wrong turn here. That was pretty cool. I wonder if they're natural. That's that sad thing about this, that you don't really have so much time to stop and explore. Can barely walk down here. What the heck? Another hiker bike section. Just too steep for my gearing. I have to put down so many watts and then instantly start cramping up.
but not worth it. I have to walk, but at least I got the CPAP done now. I'm going to fill one of the bottles with drink mix. Hopefully those electrolytes will be a bit better for me, because I feel like this is where my stomach problems come from those electrolyte tablets. Even though I tested them before and had no problems. I don't know. But let's see if the drink mix works better, because I'm already getting cramps. Not so nice. Must be nice to be on a mountain bike. Quick stop done. Actually didn't know that there was a town coming up. I thought the whole Gorafe Desert loop had no refuel station. Nice surprise. 50 kilometers left now, back to Gorafe, and then we'll see how we keep going. I'll definitely try to make it out here before the sunset. That would be the ideal goal, but let's see how rough the rest is going to be. There's one longer climb now, then a descent, and then comes the really long climb that goes through Gorafe and continues after that, I think all the way up to the Observatory. So I would have to do that in the night, of course. Yeah, but let's see when I'm back in Gorafe what the plan is. Cramping up in my left leg now. Insanely frustrating because the top is like, I don't know, a few hundred meters away now, and then I'm descending. Well, I think I will make it. This climb has to be brutal because it's just insanely steep in the bottom, and then it flattens out on the top here, but it's super windy, straight into a headwind. So you're not really going fast here, but at least that should mean that on the next climb we have a tailwind on the big one. Finally made it to the top, but I got rewarded with this insane view. Absolutely incredible. nice when you don't have to do anything. Just lay in the bars and roll. Feeling pretty good. The service here took quite long, so the stop overall was longer than I actually planned to. So now I'll take a proper dinner here before going up to the observatory. And that's the plan. Feeling pretty good right now, so it should be not too big of an issue. Before we're hitting the climb, filled up the water on the fountain. Should be good for a while, at least until the one climb to Gore. There we can refill, I think. Well, yeah, let's see. Into the night. Just around midnight, first proper meal. Then we tackle the last few hundred meters of elevation up to the observatory. Not quite sure how much is left. 500 meters at least. 500 meters of elevation would have been correct if the actual top that followed was the highest point. For some reason my mind blended out the dips in between before actually reaching the observatory. What followed were some really fun descents, but even more climbing after that. Finally made it to the top. Ah, that took ages. Just as the sun is about to rise. So it took me the whole night to get from the bottom of the Gorafe to the top here. That was pretty crazy. I think it was like 3,000 elevation. Yeah. But at least now we're descending around 60 kilometers or so. And then I will check if I can find a place to stay. Maybe wash or a shower and so on. That would be nice. My body definitely needs some rest now.
While the miscalculation of the distance took a mental toll, especially as it dragged on towards the top, seeing the first rays of sunlight above the mountain peaks, slowly warming you, made up for it. "10:30 and I'm currently taking my breakfast break on the supermarket here. Earlier than expected, which is nice. Bit more chill here. Because I got everything that I could get my hands on. Some croissants and I don't know even what that is. Sugar stuff, cake stuff. But I want to bring stuff on the bike as well, so I have more and don't need to stop, because I don't know exactly when the next stop's going to be. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Taking a bit longer break now, and then I will continue for now. So feeling pretty good. Ideally, I get to the coast in the evening, because then I will very likely find a place to sleep there, and then I can just sleep normal through the night, which would be ideal. But yeah, that's the plan for now. Let's see how it goes. The past 10 kilometers have been absolutely horrible. Really loose gravel, and even though it should be a descent, I'm descending since 3 hours, because there's always little kickers in there, really steep ones, which Wahoo doesn't show up, so that makes it really tough. Let's see how the route continues now. Hopefully it gets a bit smoother. Should be more or less downhill still until we hit the coast, with one climb in between. But yeah, going to check that out now and then push for that. I think it's probably a bit more than 100 kilometers to the coast, which should be doable in, I don't know, 8 hours, I guess. Something like that. Let's see how I continue. I'm also currently sorting my bike stuff. I cleaned the drivetrain because it's making a lot of noise. I don't exactly know, it's like really sandy. Hopefully that will be fixed now. Put new chain wax on, cleaned it before of course, and then also going to resort all my other stuff while I'm already on it, so I can fit more food.
Thank you. That's a nice handover. Definitely needed that. Quick little stop in Tabernas. Sat down a bit. Had a cold drink. Definitely at a low point now. I don't know if it's like, I guess the mix of the heat now and tiredness. Even though I don't feel so tired, but pushing anything above 200 watts right now is like, feels impossible. But also don't want to sleep now. Rather do it normal during the night. And then, yeah, see how far I can get now. Until like, I don't know, 8. And then take a proper rest somewhere. That's the plan, so let's see how far I can get. I think we're heading a bit towards the west, and then we should have a tailwind back. Or back, but towards the east when we turn around. So let's hope that's true. Time to hit the roads. I just finished the last climb for today. That was the plan, at least. My freehub is stuck now, which is great. I think there's too much dirt in it. So I have to see now how I fix that. Yeah, it's great, especially going downhill now. Probably can't get down by pedaling all the time. And then, yeah, find maybe a washing car wash or something. Maybe wash it off. I don't know how else to fix it. I don't have any cassette tool or something. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's see how we solve that. Let's try to get down first. That doesn't work. Alright, let's see if I get all the way down for the chain. And then, yeah, I don't know exactly what to do. We'll figure it out down in the town, hopefully. Put the chain back on in the bottom to climb out here, and yeah, that's working at least, but I can't stop pedaling, otherwise the cassette will get stuck again and then the chain will slip into the frame. Yeah, fun times. Got a hotel room, going to get something to eat and drink and then directly sleep. It's about 100 kilometers to Almería, so we'll go there. I don't know when I will leave, maybe 9, 10, so I'm there by lunchtime, and then I will hope, that the bike shop there can fix it. There's a really good one. So we'll try that, and then yeah, probably need to do the rest and finish the race on Wednesday, unless I want to ride through the night. I guess I will decide that spontaneously, but let's see if I can find some to eat first.
Good morning. I come from the hotel room. It's about 6 a.m. I actually set the alarm for a lot later. I think I set it to 8 or something. But yeah, I can't sleep anymore. I went to bed at 9. So it's not too big of a deal. Decided then to just pack the bike and start going. Trying to get a system back into my mess. You can see there's stuff everywhere. Definitely already know that I brought way too much stuff, but yeah, going to pack it back up, have to wax the chain, clean it a little bit, and then we should be ready to head out. Not sure about the freehub yet. I should be able to make it to the bike shop. I can't really find a problem. I think it's probably the little teeth ratchet, but yeah, they seem to be fine from what I can tell. And because it's flat, I hopefully should make it without too many problems to Almería and yeah, get to the bike shop there. Otherwise, feeling pretty okay. Energized now again, not tired anymore. The legs, of course, very sore, but otherwise pretty happy to continue now. Very clean now again, all the kayak bags are perfectly packed and I have more space than before, so I take that. But yeah, let's head out. Loaded the route, so I'm going back to where I left off yesterday. It's pretty close by. And then we head to Almería, to the bike shop. That's the plan at least. Let's see how I'm going. Pants dryer has done an amazing job. They're dry now. Happy I brought a second pair of bibs. Just to switch, have something clean. Even though my current ones don't have any pockets, which is a bit annoying. Like the ones on the side. Cargo. Oh yeah, otherwise. Going to put the camera away now. As the battery just got pretty empty. Yeah. Forgot to turn off the camera. Genius move. So going to charge the battery now, put it away, and then continue. 2 hours into the ride now, or 2 hours 20 into the ride, but on 2 hours of active time. Got like 40 kilometers done. So pretty decent for the way I can ride. Definitely could have gone faster. The gravel now is really, really nice. It's like hard packed and fast. It makes it a lot of fun. But I also have to keep pedaling through the corners and so on and can't freewheel. Yeah, which makes it really, really slow.
Quick coat break in San Jose before we continue. A bit more than 60 kilometers done. Everyone looks like they're going to the beach, so we should be pretty close, but yeah, we're never hitting the beach. We're going like around through the nature or whatever you call it, and then we'll hit the beach a bit later. Will take a while. Kind of want to explore. Let's see. Okay, we're actually right by the beach. Just about who thinks there's no water here. Also already surprised because about here it looks like there's at least 3 kilometers walking towards the beach, and everyone was already in swim pants and so on walking. Would have been weird if they walked that far. Just around Cabo de Gata area, leaving towards Almería, which I can already see in the distance. So not far to go 5-hour ride time. I don't know, or 5-hour moving time. I'm not sure what my actual ride time is, probably a lot less. Especially now at the coast, I spend so much time taking photos and videos that, yeah, I lost a lot of time there, but it was totally worth it. It's really good weather here at the coast, a lot colder, which is nice. And we had some clouds right at the climbs, on the coastal climbs. So really good timing. Not as windy as yesterday. And yeah, just stopped for a Coke and ice cream, as well as refilling the water. Even though I think from now on there will be a lot of opportunities, so I don't have to worry too much about that anymore. Yeah, blood sugar is completely stable. Had no issues besides during the night. Went a bit high, but I rather have it higher in the night than having some crazy sugar crash in the middle of nowhere or something without any help. So yeah, everything's going to plan when it comes to the blood sugar so far, which is great. Definitely under fueling a little bit. We'll see if they can fix my bike at the bike shop, if I have to leave it there or something for a bit, and then I will go and grab something to eat, proper lunch. Didn't really have a real meal in a long time. Little fun fact, and one reason why I was looking forward to reaching this area a lot is that two of my most favorite music videos ever have been shot here from Jamiroquai. Both Cosmic Girl and Cloud9, around 20 years later, have been shot here. Always love going back. I mean, it's really great music, but the vibe of the videos captures that really well. So always loved watching them, and now being here, it's pretty cool. Can definitely understand it, especially during a sunset, but hopefully don't have to stay here until sunset. Let's see. I think that looks like the famous beach/river crossing. Let's see how that's going to be. Mostly scared for my camera. Definitely don't want to fall in the water there. Never mind, the water is not there. Finally made it into Almería, and I met a guy in Cabo de Gata who told me that there's a bike shop here right at the beach, a good one. So let's see if I can find it and hope they can help me. I think otherwise closer to where the climb starts is another one that's supposed to be pretty good. Found it, I think. Big track logo. Looks good.
I have a broken freehub.
I think.
You can wait here.
Yeah. I took off the cassettes and it looked okay, but
No, the problem is the freehub. The freehub balance. And power, so. Paula. ¿Estás de montar una rueda?
¿Sí qué?
Es el de montar una rueda. Y creo que hay guacarapé. Acá han montado ahí una rueda.
Yo creo. ¿Qué le pasa? They managed to fix the back wheel at the bike shop, which is nice. It was the hubs were off or something like this, which is really weird because they just changed them from on the bike shop right before I came here when I serviced the bike. So I think maybe they are, I don't know, maybe there's something else wrong with the wheel which makes the hubs move or something like this. So I need to check that. But yeah, I hope it's at least good enough now for the last 200, I don't know where it's 50 kilometers or so, a little less. We basically have one long climb with a little dip in the middle, 1,500 elevation meters probably in total in the end, and then another climb after that, which looks rather steep in the top. But I think that's actually will be really brutal. And then after that, yeah, it will be not so bad anymore. So let's see. I think it would be nice to get to the top of the second climb still in daylight-ish or so. Or yeah, something like this. Take some nice pictures. And then when I'm there on the top of the second climb, I will decide how to continue. I need to check a bit on how the resupplies and that part. But yeah. At Burger King now, finally getting some proper foods. Only had those mini croissants and stuff for breakfast. So looking forward to something real now. Yeah, as real as I can get to Perth. Alright, we're rolling again. Overall, of course, lost a lot of time now, but it's okay. Heading out to the first big climb now. I'm not sure quite. It's not that long, I think. Starts very soon. Let's hope it's not too brutal. And we get a bit of the ocean air. That would be nice. Haven't said much in a while. I don't know how long it's been now, maybe 3 hours, something like that. Since I left Almería, climbed up to Enix, had a Coke there and some ice cream, and now descending down quickly and then going up to Felix, I think it is. So that's the plan for now. I'm losing a bit of air, I lost at some point a bit of air, I think, on the rear tire, so I'm just adding a tiny bit. We'll see at how much it is. And then, yeah, continue down. I want to get up the next climb before the sun sets, which it will set soon, as you might be able to see. And then, yeah, that's the plan for now. And then we'll figure out what to do after. Also, my sensor is running out in 1 hour, but I brought a new one, so I have to put that on as well at some point within the next hour, ideally. But I will wait with that, and then fix the rear tire first and descend. Yeah, there's a really small hole, but it's leaking. I can't really figure out what's in there or not. So I just put a plug in there and then hope it helps. Should probably cut it as well. Don't really have a scissor though. That I forgot. I have in the first aid kit, I think I could use that. We'll do that. I'm scared it will fall out on the gravel later. But I think I will descend down first and fix that once we hit the gravel. Just climbed out of Felix and continue to do so. It's a really long climb now. There was another mountain range hiding behind the first mountain range, which we're going up to now, I think. I'm not sure I will make it down the descent in daylight still, but should be still fine, hopefully. Even though I think it will be very cold this night. Temperatures are even lower today, so I guess they will be also low in the night. Just made it down to this town here. No idea what it's called. But yeah, there's a bar, so I think I'm going to eat something there. And then continue. Not super tired yet. A little bit maybe, but it's okay. Then yeah, putting on new sensor now first. Now that I'm dry from the descent. And yeah, hopefully get the blood sugar going again, because I think right now it's pretty high. But I also have my normal blood test strips with me, so I'm going to check that now, what I have.
This wasn't the good part. Was silver. I played in a bit of me.
Already, the dirty pig, the part, all the and did part, the healthy, all done at them, the life,
I live in the car. Consume one. Or back.
Okay, actually not too bad. Thought it would be higher. Had 2 bocadillos and some Coke Zero and bought some water. So yeah, now the next big climb is coming up. I think that one looks quite brutal. Tarmac the first 1/3, but then afterwards probably like 600 meters of elevation on gravel, and it looks pretty steep. So that will probably break me now. We'll see. But get up there, and I think then it's directly descent, more or less. And there is a town, and then yeah, get there. That's like 50 kilometers now. Will probably take like 3 hours easily, I assume. And then after that, yeah, just decide what to do. I injected my normal insulin for the foods, but also the long-term one now. So I'm good to go for the night. It's like almost 12 now, so the usual time I would inject that. And yeah, let's see what we get into now. You can see me taking some caffeine here before rolling into the night, and mentally prepared myself for the last big climb. With almost 1000 meters of elevation and an average percent of 7%, it was the expected challenge. Surprisingly, most of it was pretty hard and solid ground. Sadly, it's hard to show it on camera, but riding up the dozen of bends with millions of stars above you was an incredible feeling. I even stopped halfway to witness the spectacle. Right at the top, my front light died, but I luckily still had my headlamp. This allowed me to tackle the very long and rough descent down to Alba, which took over an hour. As I descended, the temperature started to drop, so I kept my stops minimal, only restocking bottles with drink mix. I pushed hard through the never-ending riverbeds that would follow the next 80 kilometers. This took me a good 4.5 hours before reaching the last bigger climb, just as the horizon was lighting up.
On the last bigger climb, it's like 6:22. I've just been pushing through the night. It's been pretty rough. A lot of riverbeds again, really slow down gravel. But yeah, no problem in the end. But I feel insanely hungry. I have enough gel still and drink mix, but my stomach is rumbling crazy. So I mostly need some real food. And yeah, my rear hub is making problems again, so I need to keep pedaling. But yeah, I think this climb up and then small descent down and another kicker, and then it should be it.
time no update. I made it to the top of the last big climb. There's now a long descent and 2 small kickers in there, which are hopefully not too bad. But then I should be done soon. I pushed really hard through the night. It was really tough or really cold, so that's why I pushed hard to keep the body temperature up. And now the sun's finally coming. It's getting warm again, which is nice. And yeah, the biggest mistake I made was that I didn't bring any solid extra food after my dinner stop. My stomach's super empty and growling since like hours. So really looking forward to some proper breakfast now. And yeah, my sensor also stopped working. Some quality issue message, and I have to put on a new sensor. So yeah, obviously only brought one, which is also great. Well, yeah, we made it. Also have some problems again with the rear hub. I don't know, there's an underlying issue I think with it. Hopefully I will get down the descent now without having to pedal. That would be nice. But yeah, enjoying the view for a second and then heading down. Only a couple of kilometers left, but once more climb, and I couldn't wait any longer, so got some donuts and croissants for a quick breakfast and then head to the finish.
Welcome. How are you?
Tired. That was tough. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy?
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. I think the riverbeds got really tough, especially in the heat.
Yeah.
But otherwise it
A
was.
lot of people around them.
Yeah, it gets. There's no wind in the riverbeds.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, it gets really warm there. But
Right?
I liked up from Carboneras all the way, like all the climbs and everything.
those were my favorite parts. It was so nice.
the part of the coast.
The coast, but then also up the climbs because they're like nice and even. I didn't like in the beginning the Gorafe climbs, for example, which are really steep.
Yeah.
They're hard.
Okay, cool. Time to rest.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Back at the Airbnb where it all started. There it is. Finisher medal. Super happy with that. Need some time to process my thoughts now. Going to try and find something to eat first. Probably shower first and then find something to eat. Back in Stockholm and finally had some time to finish this monster of an edit. Pretty happy how it turned out and definitely don't regret now bringing the camera. It took quite a while. It's been pretty busy the past 2 weeks already. Back into a huge training block before Gravel World Championship as well as the last gravel race which we just had the past weekend. So yeah, took a while to edit it. Yeah, this is very personal, but I would say in terms of effort, the event was not as hard as people made it sound like. Of course, my strategy was maybe a bit different from a lot of people who just push through as much as they can with as little sleep as possible. I took the more easy route maybe with a proper night's rest in a hotel. But that worked out perfectly because I felt great more or less the whole time on the bike, just in terms of energy in the legs. But also in the end, yeah, maybe the last 20 to 30 kilometers were pretty rough. But I would put that more on the not fueling, not eating enough and not bringing enough food, especially into the last night. So that's definitely something I would improve on the next time I'm doing something like this. Yeah, overall I got a really good impression on now how the ride feels and I got a little bit hooked. So it would be really cool to go back and just try it again with a more race setup and see how fast I can finish those 830 kilometers. Recovery overall went really well. I was already on the bike the next day, so the legs felt great even after that monster of a ride. Did the first climb on the next day just to shoot some more B-roll, and then the day after I went back to the Gorafe Desert to shoot some B-roll there as well. Which was really fun. Both times we had really nice sunset and I got some nice footage, both video and photo. So it was definitely worth it, but I spent another 7-8 hours or so after that before heading back to Stockholm on the bike. In the past 2 weeks, back-to-back 20-hour plus training weeks, as well as the Wake Up gravel race, which I will show in the next video, which I will going to release on the channel, and you can look out for that. But yeah, if you follow me on Strava, you've maybe heard that it went pretty well. The second point I would make is the mental aspect of it. I had very little lows and a lot of highs every time. You had maybe a little bit of a dip mentally. You came out around a corner or something, saw an amazing landscape and instantly got rewarded with that again. Overall, I really enjoyed it, just escaping the everyday life for 3 days, just riding your bike, and the only things you have to worry about is fueling correctly and making sure that you stay on the bike. Everything else was just, didn't matter. Never really checked my phone and so on, so just really enjoyed the moment. As you can see from the last clip, I was insanely tired in the end, and I would say partially because of the lack of sleep, but also just because of the insane amount of impressions you collect in such a short time. You get drained mentally quite a lot, which I think led to a lot of tiredness in the end. It took me overall a good week to not feel tired anymore during the day, but also editing this video helped me a lot to just process all the impressions I collected. While the legs overall felt good, I definitely struggled with the rest of my body quite a bit. I didn't really feel much discomfort during the event itself, but I definitely experienced some body problems afterwards. My lower back, my toes and my hands, I got quite numb. afterwards. So that's definitely something I have to also consider for the next big trip, to maybe do another bike fit which is not so racing specific, maybe more on those 36 hours plus rides. So would I do it again? Absolutely. Will I become an ultra distance cyclist? Probably not. As I mentioned, I would love to come back with a lighter setup and try to do it as fast as possible, like properly race it. But I could also imagine doing other events like Trucker Adventure or Unbound XL, something in that direction. So those kind of races which are like 3-4 days maximum. I'm not sure I would enjoy anything longer than that. Yeah, overall it's also something you can only do once per year, because the financial and time investment, especially with a normal race calendar on the side, is not really viable for me. One thing I will definitely keep up though is something I've started mostly to prepare for Badlands, but just adding more kilometers. For example, commuting, I took on purpose longer routes, but also when we had races here in Stockholm, I always tried to ride as much as possible by bike, going to those races and back, because it would add a nice little effort in it. So you ride out easy to race, then ride easy back, so it's like a really nice mixed effort, which did a really good job for me training wise and adapted my body really well, not just for Badlands but also now for the last races of the season, where I achieved a lot of personal bests in terms of power. So yeah, I hope you liked that video. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you have any feedbacks. Otherwise, next video will be Daslat gravel race, which was the last Sway Cup race of the season. And after that, we're heading to the Netherlands for Gravel World Championships, which I will, of course, also cover. So see you then.